Dynasty Warriors 9, at its core, is the same game many have grown to love since Dynasty Warriors 2 debuted back in 2000. Choose one of dozens of warriors, each with their own fighting style and weapons, and mow down hundreds of soldiers, all for the glory of unifying China. That's pretty much what this game is too, but actually a lot has changed as well. First of all, Dynasty Warriors 9 is an open world game. There are still chapters, but every single chapter takes place on one huge map that will unlock new locations over time. If you don't feel like tackling the main mission, you can participate in dozens of side quests, from recovering items to stopping bandit waves from wreaking havoc on nearby villages. On that note of villages, there are shops around to buy items and gear, along with tools that let you craft your own stuff from materials gathered. There's even towers you can climb, a la Assassin's Creed, that highlight nearby landmarks on the map. On that note, a grappling hook is another new addition which helps you climb those towers as well as castles, making raids a cinch. But they are a bit wonky. That goes for your secondary weapon, the bow and arrow, which every fighter now has. It's nice that the game gives you a constant long-range weapon, but I found the controls just as wonky as the grappling hook. Other than those new features, everything about the game, control-wise, is just as fantastic as it has ever been. The characters all feel distinct, even though everyone can equip every weapon whenever they please. On the downside to that, there's only one mode in the game. When you choose a character, you'll go through their entire progression of chapters before you quote-unquote beat the game. In that time, you'll unlock new areas of the map, like I mentioned, as well as new fighters. But you can't change your character midway through, even if there is someone else on your team in that character's story, which is contrary to how most of these games have operated recently. Instead, everyone essentially has their own save slot and progression carries over no matter if you stop in the middle of a character's progression or not. It's not explained well in game, so it's confusing to wrap your head around, but cool I guess that everything sort of evolves on this one map. Unsurprisingly, this whole game is a bit janky actually. It's one huge world, which is impressive considering how much it has to manage, but there's not a lot of detail to it. There are glitches abound, textures and even soldiers pop in and out like they're hallucinations, and I ran into quite a few items that wouldn't let me pick them up. My biggest gripe with the game isn't the bugs though, because let's face it, Dynasty Warriors has never been a game about looking beautiful or running well. It's all about the fun, albeit repetitive gameplay and the variety in their heroes. No, it's the lack of any sort of co-op, be it online or on the couch right next to you, that is a problem for me. Oh well, at the very least, they finally brought back English voices. Dynasty Warriors 9 is an ambitious change for the series that comes across as a little sloppy. On one hand, I love that everything is one big map, making the transition between chapters slick. On the other hand, no co-op of any kind is a letdown. The bow and grappling hook items are neat ideas but controlled poorly, and then there's the glitch issues, which for me didn't really hinder my progress as patches will come and go as they do for every game nowadays. Don't get me wrong though, for all its faults, I'm always 100% down to check these games out. The core gameplay loop is just as strong as ever, and even though some of the changes are for the worse, fans are gonna eat it up. I dig it, but it's not for everyone, even with the new open world. My name is Tristan, and you've been watching ReActionExaminer, wherein I do my best to create interesting videos to entertain and educate you fine folks. Be sure to subscribe, that helped me out a lot. And if you want to check out more, be sure to read my work over on The Gamer, wherein I write fun little listicles. You can also drop by my personal website, GameJerk, wherein I post other articles and reviews. All these links and more can be found in the description below. Thanks, and see you all next time.